Look at these trees. They're in lines, straight rows. They've been planted. Oh, we are here. I get to this road, I could walk 0.8 miles up the way to get to a deli. Not sure if I'd want to do that. Moose Mountain I can definitely get to today. We'll check the weather here, see if I stop there. But Trapper John is where I kind of want to get to. But we'll see. We'll see what the day brings. Walk through that field before getting into the woods. Stop to turn around to look at this view. And I was like, whew, look down at my feet. My light gray shoes. I saw this little bugger crawling across my shoes. I'm like, well, you're not getting to me. So I got him. When I get to camp tonight, I'll do a really thorough tick check. Greetings, humans. All right, let's walk and talk. And kill mosquitoes. Okay, so questions from somebody that I can't remember the name, but it was a good topic, and it was someone's going to hike next year and they're wondering about encountering drug use on the trail. Well, I gotta say, it's out here. It's everywhere. And I can't speak for the bubble because I started before that, so I could be ahead of all that. But I can only imagine that it is more prevalent near the end of the bubble, because the bubble is like a mullet. You know, you got the business in the front and you got the party in the back. The people that do start with the bubble, if they're serious about, you know, completing the hike, they'll move faster and move beyond it. Like, a lot of them have already passed me up that started with the bubble, you know, because they're just faster hikers. And typically the ones that hang back and, you know, sit around the campfires and bang on their drums and smoke all night, you know, are the party. No offense to you if you're one of those people, it's just not my thing. So what I can tell you is I've encountered a lot of it out here on the trail, you know. Most of the time people are cool about it, you know. They'll say, hey, I'm going to do this, would you like some as well? And you just say, no man, that's not my thing, thank you though, but no. And they go about their business. They do it away from the shelter. I've only had 2 situations where people just lit up in the shelter, and those weren't even by through hikers. One was just a local that, you know, hiked up a couple miles to go to the shelter. And 2 was a guy that was on the trail that was going to get off the trail for 2 weeks to go to Disneyland. So he was partying, and then some other cat hiker that was named of a state. Can't remember which one. But one of his friends came out to hike with him for a while. And like man, it was reminiscent of a Cheech and Chong movie, let me just say that. The amount of smoke that was being produced. But no, every other time, you know, that it's been done out of the shelters, away from anybody else. You know, they're doing their thing. You know, hike your own hike. You do you. You know, just kind of keep it away from me. Thank you. But like someone put a comment there, you know, you'll find more criminal activity in a Walmart than you would out here on the trail. I mean, that stuff's not legal in every state yet. So, you know, but we'll leave it as that. Okay, so it's out here, but it really doesn't affect you unless you let it affect you. All right, next question, which a couple people have asked me this, and then Mark Fugel was the last one that asked. I said, all right, well, I better get to talking about it. But it was hiking solo or hiking with a tramily, you know, with a group of people out here. And which do I prefer? Which is better? Which is worse? The pros and cons of all of it. And I gotta say, you know, it's like, I'm a social person. I really am. But it feels good sometimes to just be out here like right now. Nobody's 2 miles ahead of me. I don't know if anyone's 2 miles behind me. You know, for all intents and purposes, this part of the trail, everything that I can see is just my personal space right now. And that feels awesome. So, you know, that is a benefit of being hiking solo. You don't have to worry about people snoring, or, well, that's kind of two different options. You know, it's like you have hiking with people to where they're, you know, 4 feet behind you or 4 feet in front of you, and you know, I've done that. Or you can hike alone where they might be 4 miles ahead of you, but we all get to the same place and stop at the same time or same destination. So you still have to you know, listen to them snore at night, or, you know, they step on you when they get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Not so much a problem now that I'm in a hammock, but, you know, with walking and hiking alone, it's kind of, you know, you could roll these exact same reasons to camping or tenting or hammocking or stealth camping alone, and not being with the group of people that's at a shelter. But there's been some sections of the trail that I was glad people were, you know, within eyesight of me. When Nuts and Dante and myself were walking out of Kent, we came across these ledges that were seriously up and down, you know. So I didn't even record any of that hiking, that section of hiking, because it was that technical. You know, I was in new boots, still trying to get the feel for the boot and where it is under my foot, and we're climbing down this vertical rock hop. So if I would have slipped or fall or took a tumble, or either of them would have fell, you know, it'd have been, it, you know, knock on wood that didn't happen, it never happened. But if it would have happened, it would have been good that we were hiking in a small group so that someone could have, you know, contacted emergency personnel or tried to, you know, stop the bleeding, or, you know, set somebody's arm back, you know, because that was definitely a technical spot on the trail. But again, another spot when me, Q, and Johnny Tsunami was coming down Dragon's Tooth in the pouring rain. You know, I'm glad that Q and Johnny Tsunami were there with me, because if any one of us would have slipped on Dragon's Tooth, you know, you could have had two people to sit there with you or help you out. That was definitely that was a bad section to do in the rain, but we kind of got up there and then the rain hit us, so we had to get down, and there were two ways down. The slow rock slippery way, or the jump off a mountain and, you know, hope you don't die way. So we went that way. But anyways, so hiking with, you know, people, not always a bad thing, but not always a good thing either. This is Corey Road. Okay. You know, sometimes you just want to, you know, duck behind a tree and do your business, and if someone's like, you know, right there on your heels talking with you about their kids or, you know, their family back home, it's like, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but I gotta go, and I don't want you standing around while I'm, you know, doing my stuff in the woods. So it can be a little awkward sometimes, but, you know, you pick up trail families and you kind of lose trail families, and you pick up other trail families. I just got a text. Let's see. Who is this? Let's see. This was. Mix sending pictures of us. There's a Cooper Lodge shelter. I don't know if you can see it right there, but there was one piece of paracord in the shelter, and we all hung our food bags off of that. And I'm telling you, there was about like 8 or 9 food bags hung from that one piece of paracord. So that was kind of funny. And evidently he was taking pictures of people as they added their food bag to the cluster. And I climbed up on the picnic table and be like, okay, no one say Jenga. But no, that was that's a good example. You know, it's when people are there with you, they can help you out. If some piece of your gear breaks, you know, you got 3 people that can try to MacGyver something together instead of just one. So, you know, hiking with people has its pros, and hiking alone, like I said, you know, it has its positives and negatives as well. So you really just gotta kind of figure out, you know, what's best for you. You know, I'll hike with people, and I'll hike alone. It kind of doesn't make a difference to me. Like I said, some situations, some circumstances, I'm really glad I was with people, and there's some circumstances I was really glad I was not with people. So, you know, there's good and bad in both, and just kind of take a balance of it. You know, take a mixture. And if, you know, you're hiking and someone falls in group with you or falls along with you, and you know, you just kind of don't jive with them, and not the right company to have out here in the woods, you know, just go a little faster, a little farther, or a little slower than them, and they'll eventually either fall behind or move along. You know, hike your own hike, but sometimes you gotta get away from people, or let people get away from you, to save your sanity. So that's that topic. Mosquito bite me on the back of the neck. Anyways, there was another section that I had recorded, the walk and talk, I think as I was coming into Killington, and when I went back to edit the clips together, that little film clip did not exist. So I'm gonna have to look back and see what the good questions were from that week and answer them again, and hopefully, you know, it records this time. But yeah, so New Hampshire, okay. Mosquitoes? Like, is that y'all's state bird or something? Because not so much black flies or flying gnats or anything, but honest to goodness, mosquitoes are just yowzers. I feel like I'm running a pint low. But no, yeah. I mean, I've only been in New Hampshire for not even a full day yet, so I guess I can't pass any judgments. But let me talk about Vermont. Now, Vermont, you're known as Vermud, and I could really only complain about one 4-foot section of Vermont, and that was right after Stratton Mountain, going to Stratton Pond. That was the worst mud I've encountered on the trail, and I just wanted to like find someone from Green Mountain Club and just shake them and be like, hey, go figure out drainage and drain that section of the trail, because it was just very bad. Would you let go of my trekking pole, please? Tree, I need my trekking pole to come with me, not get stuck in a tree. Thank you. My camera mount got snagged up. Alright, so this mud. Yeah, what we're talking about. Okay, Vermont mud. And I could only guess the long trail gets more use than, or you know, the long trail AT gets more use than just the AT in Vermont, because after we hit Killington and split off to where we were just on the AT, I tell you, that was some good sections of Vermont. I really enjoyed them. Not to have anything against the LT, there were sections there that I really enjoyed. Those rock cairns up there, that ground was so soft to walk on. It was just all these pine needles that was soft and springy to walk on. Felt great. So Vermont, you had a really muddy 4 miles that just, you know, was the worst mud on the whole Appalachian Trail. You know, this nearly 1,700 miles of trail I had walked, and those 4 miles was the muddiest by far. But only 4 miles. Vermont, you were where my feet got tore up the most, but that was, you know, really my fault because I bought shoes that were too small. They felt good when I tried them on, but nope, too small. Not that problem now. These are nice. So my second shoes I had on the trail were a pair of oboes. I do not know if they were these sawtooths like these, but I got almost 800 miles out of those shoes. I'm looking at 450 miles to Katahdin, so these will get me there. All right, so today I was looking at 15 miles or so to get to the second shelter, and I'm thinking I'm not gonna make it there for a couple reasons. One, it's probably got some thunderstorms rolling in for 3 o'clock. Every time I check my Magic 8 Ball, that's what it's telling me. And that's what other people told me as well. So when everybody's Magic 8 Ball tells them the exact same thing, you know, might put some credit into it. And I think that pizza that I had in Hanover yesterday, while it tasted good, I don't think my body's handling the large amounts of grease too well. So, you know, definitely want to be near Privy, which, I mean, you know, there's all this area out here, no big deal, but I'm thinking I'd like to be by a Privy this evening. And then I got to a road that, you know, goes off to the right to Etna, and 0.8 miles there's a little general store that had a deli, hot sandwiches, cold sandwiches, ice cream, Gatorade. So that's what I did. I walked 0.8 down the road and got me a little bacon cheeseburger. It was alright. I've had worse. And a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because, you know, hey, why not, right? And 2 jugs of grape Gatorade. So I had to squish a little bloodsucker. 2 big jugs of Gatorade, which I pretty much drunk one, and here's the other. And a cold sandwich out of the cooler, ham and Swiss, that is in my pack. That will be second lunch as soon as I get to Moose Mountain Shelter. Which is probably about another 2-3 miles, something like that. So I'm gonna pull today short, only cover around 9.5 miles. But like I said, I took almost a 2-mile detour today and to sit and eat ice cream. So, yeah. I know eventually I'm gonna have to pull the trigger and start focusing on the trail here and actually getting miles done. But I plan to stop at this Hiker's Welcome hostel right at the base of Moosilauke. So that'll be a stop. That will be a resupply and a potential zero if the weather is bad for Moosilauke day. They say they have Wi-Fi, so we'll try to get videos uploaded there. You're climbing up a mountain, you look up and there's like, that's a Honda. Alright. I'll figure out where I am and keep going. Well, that's where I've been. I can only guess that might be possibly the Connecticut River, maybe, who knows. Let's see. We crossed it that way, and then we're going north. No, that might not be the Connecticut River. I don't know. It might just be a pond. Definitely not the Connecticut River. I am on the top of Moose Mountain, South Peak. Elevation of 2,222 feet. Because that's what that sign says right there. Oh, breeze feels wonderful. I've been hearing some thunder, and I don't know if it's over there, because nothing really looks thundery that way. But the wind's coming from that direction, and I really can't see because of the trees that way. So I'll probably pull it a short day, and play it safe. Try to not be in thunderstorms this evening. Oh. But yeah. 0.6 to the shelter, and then like another probably 0.2 off the trail. So another mile to go for the day. I hit all those limbs. Another mile to go today, and that'll be it for me. Eat good tonight, and then Net Thompson Trail, 1.1 mile. North AT is this way. Okay. Whew. These little orange signs are really nice. They're going to spoil us. You get to the whites and there's like no signs whatsoever. But we'll take it a day at a time.